just for a couple of minutes. I'm gonna take a lot of your time today. Is it lunchtime? It must be about it's almost 1 o'clock. So either lunchtime is going on or lunchtime is ending. One of the two. So, but anyway, I just want to go live just for a couple minutes because that's what I do every Monday through Friday between the hours of something. As soon as I go live, someone wants to call me. Okay, but I got to turn them off. But anyway, I do these lives every Monday through Friday between the hours of well, you know what? It's kind of hit and miss on what the hours are, but I try to do them. I do two a day, one on Instagram and one here on live on LinkedIn and live on YouTube, which this one is, right? I talk about hospitality things or things that I deal with on a, kind of a normal basis, kind of my daily check-in as to what I was, what I'm working on a day and, just stuff like that. It's nothing big, nothing too heavy, just, kind of always like to share my day, my experiences with people that, it may help them, it may not, or just may be entertaining. I have no idea. But that's what I'm here to do. Um who am I? Okay, so three things that you always want to let people know when you do these, especially when you do these lives, because a lot of times people just do lives, they don't tell them who they are, what they do, or how they can help. Right. So I'm Russell Edmond. Russell of Hotels is the name I go by. I'm a hotel site selection expert, or yeah, okay, let's just say that I'm a hotel site selection expert, and I assist companies and organizations with finding that special hotel that they need for their meeting, their convention, their conference, whatever that is, a sales meeting, a golf outing, whatever it is, a retreat, a summit, whatever we want to call it. My job is to help companies and organizations and even individuals with finding that. Doesn't matter the destination, doesn't matter the hotel, doesn't matter where it is, the country. I've done international programs as well, Italy and Greece, some Caribbean stuff as well. So doesn't matter. Just if you need help, I'm here to assist you. So that's how I can help, meeting planners or people that work for companies and organizations. If this is something that they may not have time to do, and I also do contract negotiations as well. So start off with the RFP process. The company gives me the information. I compile it into an RFP, send it to my hotel partners or my CVB partners first, DMO, destination marketing organizations, and they disseminate that information to the hotels, and the hotels, directly send me back their proposals. And don't sleep on the DMOs or the CVBs, okay? I've been having some good luck with the CVBs and DMOs I've been dealing with, and specifically Palm Springs, San Diego, LA tourism. I appreciate them for, reaching out to me and help me out on this journey to find these hotels right for my client. So, but the client doesn't know. The client has no idea that I use a DMO or a CVB. In fact, one client I have, they don't even know that they even exist, right? So I mentioned it to them because you always, find out, like when they ask you to start sourcing their programs for you. And I always ask them, well, what did you use before? Who was doing this job before? Like, well, I was doing the job, and oh my God, it's just so frustrating trying to call all these hotels and trying to keep organized and do my regular work. And I said, well, did you ever call a CVB or a DMO, Destination Marketing Organization, or Convention and Visitors Bureau? Crickets. Cricket, cricket, cricket. What's that? So I kind of explain what it is and what they do, right? And how you can contact them, and they will do all the basically the legwork for you, and everything just comes back to you. They'll have some questions for you as far as, I mean, I fill out a proposal, an RFP, but they may still have questions about the RFP, specific questions about which hotels do you really want, because for this particular program that I'm doing, I need a hotel with a different kind of vibe, right? I don't need your branded corporate kind of hotel. It's a Smurfy group, but they deal with some some serious stuff, right? And some of they need a more relaxed atmosphere, if you will. And a lot of your independent hotels or your boutique hotels will have that because they have a different kind of vibe, right? So like some hotels in San Diego, some hotels actually here in Los Angeles as well, but a lot of them like in the Palm Springs area, they had a different kind of vibe, right? Lake Arrowhead, different kind of vibe, right? So you just have to know your client and know what they're looking for specifically, especially if it's not your, um, run of the road, common kind of corporate meeting and things like that. If it's something different, then you got to choose different hotels or properties that may be suited for them, and look at their past experiences. Where were they before? I was lucky that they had been somewhere else before, right? A couple programs before I got involved, and they met in Tucson. So in Tucson, there's some corporate properties there too, but a lot of those properties are unique and independent. So and they're not overly big. It can be maybe 150 rooms or less, right? So those are your typical boutique independents with a different kind of vibe, maybe even a health and wellness component to it. Those are things you got to look for, right? Know your client and know exactly, what what makes your clients tick, and what kind of programs that they're going to want, or what hotels they're going to want their programs at. So that's what I do. That's the kind of things I do. Kind of a long, kind of drawn out kind of thing, but you get what I'm talking about, right? So, but I do think because I start with my CVBs, right? So if I'm sourcing San Diego, I'm starting with San Diego Tourism Authority. If I'm in LA, starting with them. If I'm doing Palm Springs, like I just said, I'm starting with Palm Springs as well. So there you go. And there's other stuff I've been. Let's see, couple things I was thinking of or talking about. Oh, you guys can always make comments here. The chat box that's right below you. If you're on LinkedIn, if you're on YouTube, doesn't matter. Just go ahead, and if you have questions, want to say, hey, what the hell, whatever you want to say, you can do that, and I will address those questions or just comments, or just to say, hey, at the very least, I'm gonna say, hey, what's going on? And just so you guys know, this hotel right here is the Level Hotel. That's the living room of one of the suites, right? Okay, so it's like what is this? A one bedroom suite? Yeah, this is a one bedroom suite. All the rooms have. Well, let me just say this: all the rooms are 700 square feet or over. Okay, so they're 1, 2, and 3 bedroom um, suites, but they're hotels, right? The hotel rooms, they have kitchens, they have washers and dryers, they have balconies. You can see the balcony right there, right? Looking back at me, that's the balcony right there. All of them have balconies. You can walk out there, get fresh air. We don't want you smoking out there, though. Okay, we don't want you doing all that. Okay, it's not a smoking hotel. That includes the balconies too. We don't need you flicking the butts, below. We don't need all that. So, but it's the hotel is definitely it's dope. Okay, I'm gonna say it. It's dope. And your typical hotel size, typical size of a hotel room is about 300 to 350 square feet. These start at 700 square feet. Okay, and the pricing is about the same as it would be at a regular hotel. And this is downtown LA, so this is a level hotel downtown LA. So just to let you know that. Let's see what else. There's some other stuff that I was going to talk about. I was going to talk about resort fees, right? This has been not a thorn in my side, but as you source more hotels, people are more forthcoming with information, right? Like, okay, resort fee. Okay, this is the cost of the resort fee. But a lot of hotels don't tell you what it includes, right? I'm not going to say 100% across the board will let you know exactly what it includes, because some of them have resort fee and a parking fee. Two different fees. Parking is $20 a day. Resort fee is $30 a day. Okay, well, what does that resort fee include? Maybe Wi-Fi, use of the pool, use of the health facilities, or maybe they have a spa or whatever. But then I see some of them, specifically in the Palm Springs area, that, well, at least one or two hotels I saw this, that the resort fee actually includes parking. So there's not a separate parking fee, right? So, and I mentioned this yesterday. I was doing one of these live yesterday, and I was saying, be transparent with whatever the resort fee is. If you have one, that's fine. It should be in every kind of communication that you have, because that's a big thing now, right? Every hotel doesn't have it, and people are getting used to it. Even the hotels here in LA, downtown, they're starting to do. It's not called a resort fee. It's called a, I don't know, something, an amenity fee, an urban fee. I don't know what the hell that means, but they have different names for these fees that are basically like a resort fee, amenity fee or service fee. I don't know. They just have so many names. But make sure you include what it includes, right? What does this resort fee or amenity fee or urban fee, what does it include? If it includes parking, let us know. It includes the Wi-Fi, the use of the pool towels, or because we have a store, the market inside, it includes that. I don't know. Whatever it includes, make sure it's there, because you got to be transparent. Because one thing that I just almost got me in trouble. Not got me in trouble, but I didn't know. Well, ignorance is bliss, right? So part of it could be my fault, right? But I didn't know. I knew there was a resort fee, but I didn't know exactly what it included. So I just assumed that it included. What did I assume that it included? What was it? Maybe I thought it included the parking or something. Well, it didn't, because and I was used to seeing other properties that said, okay, this included parking, included this. So I just assumed that all of them were like that, right? But that's not the case, right? So, but I caught it before I sent it to the client, right? But just make sure that, and I'm not the only one that goes through this, okay? Don't act like I am, because I'm not. So just make sure that we let people know in the proposal stage, when you send a proposal, so I send an RFP and I get that initial communication from the hotel, right? And that's usually in the form of a proposal. Make sure it's in there, because I've had situations where it wasn't in there, but then when it came to the contract, it was in there. I'm like, well, why it wasn't in the proposal? Because I need to tell my client exactly upfront what he or she, the organization, is going to be paying. Okay, this is what they're charging you for. But if all of a sudden it didn't appear in the proposal, but it appeared in the contract, well, then now I got some issues. Okay, so, but anyway, I don't mean to beat a dead horse on that one, but you got to. I see a comment here. I see Dylan. Let me just throw this on here. Dylan says, and this is the beauty of this, right? Check this out. I can bring the comment onto the screen. This is the beauty of this. Dylan, I'm here, and I'll get my sales team in here to watch too. Yes, okay. Dylan's trying to be funny, okay? Because the other day, I said this is prime selling time, okay? So, look at it on the replay, Dylan. Have them look at it on the replay, unless it's at lunchtime. If it's lunchtime, then that's fine. But I said that I was not gonna do these lives until after 4 o'clock. Well, today I got to a point where I needed to do something, and this is my outlet, right? You never know, I may do another one later, but typically I'm gonna try to do these later after prime selling time, because I was having a live a couple of days ago, and I was talking about sales managers and the sales process and what is prime selling time. That was a question that I asked people that were watching. What is prime selling time? Prime selling time is between the hours of 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. Okay, so during that time, there should be nothing going on other than you selling. If that's going to lunch with clients, if that's entertaining, that's fine. But that's what should be going on during that time. No meetings. Your sales, if it's a sales meetings can happen after. Can they happen at 4:30? Okay. Staff meetings. Salespeople shouldn't be in those meetings anyway. They should be selling, right? Because at the end of the day, at the end of the month, what are we going to be asking for as general managers, as directors of sales and marketing? What did you produce? Okay. Well, if I'm in a meeting for 2 hours, it started at 2 o'clock. Well, that takes 2 hours away from my prime selling time. Okay. So salespeople should always be engaged with clients on the phone, in front of, having lunch with, breaking bread with, Zoom calls, emailing, whatever, in-person meetings, okay, whatever, but not being pulled into meetings that really don't even apply to them. In fact, let me ask this question. How many meetings have your salespeople booked in a meeting, in a hotel sales meeting? How many meetings have your salespeople booked while in a meeting in the hotel? I mean, just answer that question for me. I see Troy Hughes. I think it's time to bring on. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me put this on here. Hold on one second. Troy Hughes, Russell. I think it's time to bring you on the show. Is it time? Is it time to bring you on the show? Okay. All right. Well. Okay. We'll do that then. Now, I met Mr. Troy Hughes in Vegas last week. Okay, and he came up to me. Okay, so what is the name of your company? Is it am I right? Tony Hughes, Troy Hughes? Is that Lime? Hold on, Lime Marketing. I have my cards right here. Okay, I've been putting in my cards, and the ones that are muy importante, they're like the first one. So let me see if Tony Troy's is like Lime Media. Boom. Okay. It was the fourth one down. Okay. Fourth one down. So Lime Media. So Mr. Troy Hughes, experimental expert with Lime Media. Okay. So we're gonna have him come on so he can at another time, Troy, of course, and then you can come on and talk about what's an experimental expert, okay, and what does Lime Media do? But Lime Media, they do a lot of what do you call them? Gosh, is it it's marketing, of course, for like say pop-ups and things like that. So they have like these vintage cars, like vintage ice cream um um ice cream trucks, and they do wraps. They wrap, and I think they do. What's the other thing I'm trying to think of? I can't think of the other thing, but I know they wrap vehicles. They wrap anything, okay, as a promotional tool for whatever you're doing. If that's you're rolling out a new product, you're rebranding, you're doing all these things, and so that's what they do, right? And that is very unique. And so I met him on last week, probably Wednesday or Thursday of last week in Vegas at Connect. And the first thing he says is, "Hey, I follow you on here." He knew about me on LinkedIn. I was like, wow, that's kind of cool, right? So I appreciate that, right? So at least that's what at least he did his homework for that, right? Now, if he really, knew who I was, I don't know, but at least he knew who I was prior to the meeting, okay? So that's a good salesperson right there, right? Someone who has done his homework and he knew how to get to me, right? So when he came up to me and said, "Hey, you're Russell of Hotels. I watch you on LinkedIn and all this kind of stuff." I'm like, wow, okay. All right. I was impressed. Okay. So I'm gonna talk you up there, buddy. Okay. Let's see, what else did he say? We can talk about your Broncos. It, the Broncos. You talking about the Denver Broncos? You talking about Cal Poly Pomona Broncos? Is that what you're talking about? Okay. I don't know what we're gonna talk about other than I went to school there, but yeah, we'll yeah, okay. Let's see. And Craig Giangrosso says, "Hey, Craig, how are you, sir? Thank you for joining, of course." And then Dylan says they do custom pop-up experience carts like food cart. Yeah, they do food trucks, food carts, and this is the one thing that was unique about what he did and what he said was, yeah, they do all those things, but they take into consideration all the rules and regulations that you're going to need for your particular city. So say if you need certain licenses to do a food truck in New York, they make sure you have all that stuff. So it's not just he said it's a total turnkey, right? So when they deliver the product or whatever it is, the truck, the cart or whatever it is, they make sure you have all the tools that you need to hit the ground running, right? So if that's like I said, licenses and regulations that you need to take care of, they take care of that for you. So I thought that was unique as heck, right? So there you go. So that is very unique. So good job on that. So yeah, so he kind of laid it out for me. He kind of laid it out for me, and I told him, I said, "Hey, I'm a resource. So my job is to gather as much information about that as I can. Different kinds of, especially branding opportunities and like fabric. I think they do fabrications as well for certain things. So it's important that I go to these shows not just to meet with other hotels and CVBs, which I do, but there's always going to be some other types of services that are out there that clients may need. So it's always important that we meet more people than just what we typically do. Oh, I'm going to meet XYZ destination or XYZ hotel. We need to look at, okay, I want to be a resource. So whatever my client asks for, I have a go-to person for that. So if someone needs a vehicle wrapped, or they're going to do a food truck as a promotion or whatever, I know that if I contact Troy with Lime Media out there in, I believe, Dallas, Texas, I know he's going to take care of it, right? And I know that he's going to take care of all the regulations and all the stuff I need from the health department and all that stuff, because that's what they do, right? So I always tell people that these lives that I do are not for me. Yeah, I come in here and talk about me, and this is a daily check-in or whatever, but it's also about the people that you come across, especially that have unique, services or companies or organizations that other people can use, right? It's my job to promote them, right? That's just it. Okay. It's a daily check-in, but it's also a time when I can, promote someone else's brand, because like I say, at the end of the day, I try to be a resource for everybody that comes on, right? So at the very least, I'm gonna say something about you, right? And I happen to know Troy Hughes on now he's gonna be my best friend, right? I just met him like last week. Not even is it been a week yet? Yes, it was probably a week ago. I think it was like last Wednesday. No, it was Thursday. Yeah, I met you on Thursday, I believe. Um, but yeah, and it's funny. Thursday, typically, your appointments, the energy level is going down. This guy came up and he's like, Energy City, right? Like the Energizer Bunny. Like he was just getting his second win. Okay. Most people are going down. He was on the way up as far as energy and enthusiasm. And I appreciate that, because I've fed off of that. I don't know if you knew that, but I fed off of that, because the other people prior to him were like, going through the motion. He came out there like a firecracker. Hey, okay, there you go. All right. So I think Troy's company sounds great, and he hasn't even been on yet. Yeah, yeah. See, that's what I do, Dylan. So that's Dylan's comments right there. See, that's what I'm talking about. See, putting comments up there, branding opportunities for everybody, right? So Dylan's the general manager at the Fairfield Inn by Marriott in Eugene, Oregon. Troy Hughes here. He's talking about Cal Poly. Obviously, he did his research and homework and know that I attended Cal Poly Pomona. Okay, and I'm sure they do a lot of different things as far as branding and pop-ups, and especially around the Rose Parade, right? So the Rose Parade is their big thing, Troy Hughes. So I'm sure they're getting ready right now for next year's Rose Parade, because they always have, and I think they do it in conjunction with the other Cal Poly, which is in San Luis Obispo. We call it SLO, Cal Poly SLO and Cal Poly Pomona. One is the Broncos, and one is the Mustangs. Okay, they're the Mustangs, we're the Broncos. So they kind of do them in conjunction. So they come up with a theme for whatever the theme is for the Rose Parade, and they do a float based on that. And that's always something huge, right? So, but if I have an in there, of course, my in would probably be more with the, excuse me, the Center of Hospitality Management, because that's the school I came out of. So I mean, just to let you know that. So, and I still have contact there, at least one contact. One of my classmates is now a professor there, so I can find out exactly what they're doing, what they may need help with. They need something like something wrapped, Cal Poly or Collins College of Hospitality Management or whatever. So write that down. Collins College of Hospitality Management. That's the school. That's the hotel school at at Cal Poly Pomona. So, and I know he's taking notes. I already know that. I already know he's taking notes. So he probably called me after this, right? I got this dude's number. I'm calling him to ask him more questions. But yeah, so daily check-ins, I do them every single day. Let people know who you are, what you do, how you can help, okay? Those are three things that you let people know. I happen to do multiple things, but today I'm talking about being hotel site selection only because that's the things I've been dealing with for the last several days, right? So my client's in town. We just set up an appointment for tomorrow. So we're going to see a couple of hotels here, a couple of hotels in Palm Springs, and going up to Lake Arrowhead, okay? And I hate going up that hill. But anyway, that's, we're not talking about that. But yeah, so, and then hopefully San Diego comes through with some hotels for us to see in San Diego as well. So, because she's going to be here for the next 2 weeks. So, and that's just new development, 2 weeks. I mean, she was just going to be here for that today and then maybe mid week next week, but now it's been extended to 2 weeks. So we're going to have more time because there's a program in September that we're trying to get taken care of now. September and November. So if we can get that taken care of, both dates taken care of during this next 2 weeks, that's going to be great. So I want to, once again, like I said, thank Cassiopeia Figueroa at the UCLA Lake Arrowhead Lodge, Resort and Lodge. Appreciate her getting back to me as far as a proposal. And then the people in what's the gentleman's name in Palm Springs, Rich Ainsworth. He's with the CVB in Palm Springs. Visit Greater Palm Springs. Weston, he is at the San Diego Tourism Authority. So I want to thank them for, taking care of the stuff. When I send things out, they get back to me, that kind of thing, because that doesn't always happen. Okay, so always thank people. Give people their flowers when they can smell them. Okay, so I thank them for that. So I mean, you guys don't think unless you do meetings and you reach out to certain people, you'll never know how they respond, right? So, and like I said, I appreciate everything they do because I can't do this stuff alone, and I don't want to do it alone, right? I need some help. Okay, so if I send out a RFP, people are going to respond back to me, and then I have another one that's for Phoenix, right? Another RFP that's for Phoenix. So I just send out information to my client, so I'm waiting for him to respond to me. And then now I find out that I guess my client, we're late on putting out this RFP, right? It's like other teams. This is a sports team, a basketball team, and there's a big tournament going on in Phoenix. And I'm just finding out that we're late to the party. I'm like, what do you mean we're late to the party? Everyone else is already booked. All the other teams are pretty much already booked. I said, well, I didn't know anything about it. 2 days ago, I got the call, right? So I said, that's fine. We'll find something. So we're not. I already got 10 responses back. So, or no, out of 10, I got 5 back. So I'm waiting for another 5. But I already sent it to my client, so it's up to him. Let's just make a decision and let's move on. Okay. So, I don't need to know that we late to the party. I just need to know that you got my RFP and you're gonna send me back a proposal. That's all I care about. So thanks for letting me know that. But yeah. But other than that, like I said, I can go on and on talking about stuff. But I think that may be it. And then let me just share this other piece of information. So the Renaissance LAX, right? Renaissance LAX Hotel. So I've had a contact there forever, right? And she's leaving. So I called her. I hadn't talked to her in a while, okay, since before COVID probably. So I called her the other day, last Friday, and I said, hey, I'm gonna send you over a proposal, blah, 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 blah. She goes, okay, but my last day is gonna be a week from today, which is tomorrow, right? Her last day is gonna be tomorrow. She's moving to another property, the West Drift, which is one of the hotels that I love in LA, in Manhattan Beach. And she goes, oh, and the person who's going to be helping me temporarily is a guy named Tony. She mentioned his last name. I said, I know Tony. We used to work together. She goes, oh my God, really? I said, yeah. So I got a chance to talk to him today, and because I sent the RFP and I wanted to follow up to make sure he received it, and he had some questions, so I went ahead and called him instead of always emailing. It's okay to call. I understand that we want the paper trail, but sometimes initially you have to make a phone call, and this was one of those times. You know what? Let me make a phone call and just kind of in that way we can talk for a couple minutes, about hey, how you doing and how long you been there, and man, it's good to see you. I mean, good to hear that you're still around, that kind of thing. So you got to exchange those pleasantries too, right? So, but it was good to talk to Tony. I guess I haven't seen him or talked to him probably. I mean, we follow each other on LinkedIn, but we haven't had a conversation probably, I don't know, 6-7 years, I would say. But we worked together probably, when was that? It was in the 90s, okay. It was in the late 90s. Yeah, it was like 99, 98, 99 is probably when I worked with him. And, of course, we all go our separate way. He was in operations then, and I was in sales, and then he became in sales, and then he's still in sales now, so which is good. So it's good that we make these transitions. Glad that we're growing in our careers, and it's glad we're still around, right? So I appreciate Tony for reaching out, and I have an appointment with him tomorrow, as well as my client. So we're gonna actually see him tomorrow, right? And like I said, I hadn't seen him. Probably have not seen him in about 7 or 8 years. So it's always good, right? So that's the beauty about this industry, is that you think people are gone, but every now and then, people show up. They're there like, oh my God, I remember this guy. And he says, oh, I remember you, that kind of stuff. So that's what it's all about, right? So anyway, let's see, anybody else say anything? So I want to thank Dylan, Troy Hughes, appreciate you. Send me a message when you're available to go on. I mean, I do these every day, right? So we can do it tomorrow. Yeah, we can do it. We can do it tomorrow. I do have an appointment tomorrow, and that is at I think between 2:30. What is it? 1 to 2:30. 1:30 to 2:30. So I have an appointment 1:30 to 2:30. So we either got to do it early or we got to do it late in the day. So let me know, Mr. Troy Hughes, what you want to do with Lime Media. I appreciate it, and you can come on here and you can talk about Lime Media, and all that good stuff. Okay. Let's see. What is Dylan saying now? Shout out to Anaheim, Ontario, Concord, Walnut Creek, Salem, Oregon, Pasadena, San Diego, Mountain View, and Cedar Rapids. Why are we giving them a shout out, Dylan? Okay. They're bureaus. Okay, yeah. Those are bureaus that I got people at those bureaus, right? So Ontario. In fact, Ontario is looking for a national sales manager. I just remember that. Arlette, my girl Arlette, who's the director of sales and marketing, posted something on LinkedIn yesterday that they're looking for a national sales manager or national account manager with Ontario CVB. So interested, somebody, go to their website and apply. Okay, and that if I get information, I'll make sure I share it. I'll put it on my page or make it accessible because, like I said, I'm here to help where I can help. And she put that out yesterday, so of course I'm gonna do that. And then so that's okay. That's Ontario, Anaheim. Let's see who's at Anaheim other than Marylis. Hey Marylis, how are you? Concord. That's Shelby. Hey Shelby Walker, how are you there? Walnut Creek. Gosh, Walnut Creek. Gosh, I just saw her last week. I see her pictures right there. Nicole Hankton, of course. And I saw Cedar Rapids too. So San Diego, that's I just mentioned somebody in San Diego. That's Weston, as well as next week's guest is Veronica Rivera. Okay, so there you go. Dylan says, if these CVBs and DMOs show Russell love, we show them love. Okay. Let me just put that up there, Dylan. Dylan says, if these CVBs and DMOs show Russell love, we show them love. Yeah, we definitely do. So no, it's a two-way street. I appreciate the love that they give me. So of course I have to give them love too, and give them a shout out. So yeah, so no, I appreciate everything that they do, and like I said, if you do these things, your meeting planner, whatever, or even if you just want information about a destination, start with the CVB, start with the DMO. DMO stands for CVB and DMO are interchangeable. Interchangeable. They mean that they're the same organization. CVB stands for Convention and Visitors Bureau. That's the old term, right? You know, it depends on how long you've been in the industry. So, but the new term is Destination Marketing Organization. So basically, a CVB or DMO are the marketing arm of a destination, like LA, Ontario, Anaheim, you know, Walnut Creek, whatever. Every major city has them, and second and third tier cities have them as well. Cedar Rapids has one. Sacramento has one. Long Beach, the LBC, they have them. Phoenix, Scottsdale, Glendale, Mesa, all those are in the Phoenix area. They all have their own separate DMOs. Okay, Texas has many, you know, Dallas and Houston, and everybody has them. Lubbock and, you know, whatever. So El Paso, you know, all of them have their own. Blythe doesn't have one though. Blythe doesn't have one. So there you go. I don't know what they got. But anyway, that's it. That's enough of my rambling. So anyway, you guys have a great day. And once again, like I said, Mr. Troy Hughes, reach out to me and let me know if you want to come on tomorrow, and we can make it happen. I can send you the link, and you just click it and just come on. That's how we do it. Okay. But anyway, so that's it. Russell of Hotels. Remember, I have a show called On Air with Russell of Hotels 2. Comes on every Tuesday at 1 o'clock. Live on LinkedIn, live on YouTube, with the replay on those same platforms, as well as Twitter and Facebook as well. So there you go. So until tomorrow, peace.